It is not easy being a manager these days with all the layoffs. It is just so difficult to face employees, especially when you have to lay someone off. I have never done this before. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, gosh, the first thing you have to think about is where can I get the most critical advice for this very important conversation? And your HR business partner is the person to do that. They're really going to be perfect for telling you what are the legal obligations I have to follow, what are the permissions I have from the organization that tell me what I can and cannot say. Once you kind of have the black and white covered that way, your next strategy is going to be, okay, who's done this before and how can I talk to them to find out what makes a really successful conversation? How can I be really good at this?
I get along so well with the people on my team, and I know this has to be done, but I mean, it's just keeping me up at night, and it makes me nauseous.
And if it didn't, I'd be so worried about you. It's very difficult to do that. It's actually the hardest thing for managers to do. What you learn from that, though, of being nauseous or sick or nervous, is that that's a data point for you. It tells you, okay, this is going to happen to me most probably in that meeting. What's the self-management technique that I'm going to have to use in order to not allow that to intrude on this very intimate conversation with my employee?
I know we're talking about how it's going to affect me and it's pretty tough, but the person who is being laid off, it's so much tougher for them. How can I stay on conversation, on point, and make it through this for them?
Good question, and let me help you with 3 simple techniques. The first thing to think about is brevity. You want to keep it short and simple. You don't need to drag this out. The second thing is be very cognizant of respecting them. In other words, don't bother trying to deflect responsibility away from you to the organization or them or the management. They're looking to you for this. You're the manager, you're doing it. So take responsibility for that. Give them that respect. The third thing is build a relationship with them still. You can still give them something even as you're showing them the door. So for example, offer your support when it comes to building their resume. Help them really ramp it up so it looks great. Or support networks or people and contacts that you know. Give them some outlet for feeling better when they leave, because your job still is their manager, which means you should still help them succeed even as you're helping them leave the company.
In summary?
So in summary, there's 3 things you have to remember. Manage your emotions before you go into that meeting, because emotions are contagious and there's going to be a lot coming at you from the employee. The second thing is make sure you give them the dignity and the respect of not deflecting the responsibility elsewhere. Keep it really brief, your message really brief, but acknowledge the feelings they're experiencing. And finally, offer your support as their manager before you show them the door.